What's up, guys? I just thought I'd make a video today. Springtime's coming around. You know, everybody's getting their boats ready. You know, we've had some pretty series of warm days. I'm going to try to go fishing this Saturday, so I know everybody else is going to try to go. So I just thought I'd make a video for those that own a livescope or they're on the border with livescope. Here's a video trying to cover everything that I know about my livescope. Well, my livescope is the 126 SV. It's obviously it's a eco map. So, and I don't have one bad thing to say about mine. I paid about $2,800, $2,900 at Bass Pro. Usually in the springtime they run a deal. So if you're thinking about buying one, Bass Pro Shops usually has a big fishing sale, like a spring sale for turkey hunting and bass fishing. Usually about toward the middle or end of March, maybe beginning of April. That is when I would jump on the livescope if I was going to buy one. And if you don't know already, I would definitely 100% become a member, apply for their credit card, because not only do you get the member deal, you also get points back. So basically it's just money back, points in Bass Pro Shops that you can use for whatever you want to use it for. Clothes, more fishing stuff, hunting stuff, whatever. So that would be my recommendation. Just to kind of jump in here, you know, like I said, I got the 126 and kind of show y'all around. This is the chart. Okay, this is the whole thing right here. Okay, the settings here. This is your gain. So your gain right here. This is basically how powerful, in layman's terms, or how strong your sonar is when it shoots. So I usually, the highest I'll do is 74. So like, depends on how clear water you got. You know, some people, they'll run it at 70 or 68, 70, somewhere in there. That's the best place to be at. Depending on what kind of water you're in. Your footage is what I call it, just how far out it is. So sorry about that. So whenever you do that, this is a touch screen, by the way, so it's very sensitive. But whenever you do that's how far out, like your boat's up here, and this is how far out, you know, you'll see. I usually keep mine about 60. Well, I usually put it about 100 feet, honestly, but then I'll back it back down depending on what I'm hunting for, or fishing for. Like if they're breaking or whatnot, it's a little bit different of a ball game than if you're just on a point or something, you know. So that's usually what I'll do. So that's your forward range. That's basically like I was talking about. Your sonar setup, this is where you're really going to get it, your appearance. I usually go with lava. That's just my preference. That's all about preference. Color gain, 100%. Color limits, default trails, you want them off. You don't want no trails off. Bottom fill is off. Let's see here. Layout, grid overlay is hide. That shows you your grid or whatnot. Scroll history, hide. On-screen control is show reverse image is minimum. So basically when you're up here, it kind of shoots down a little bit. Right here, you want that to minimum. Compressor range is off. Noise reject is off. Noise reject is off. Ghost reject is low. That's where basically, like whenever it shows your bait falling in the water, it kind of leaves behind like a little ghost trail. So I just put that low. All this is preference, really. So TVG is low. Overlay data, this is up in the corner. You want that as minimal as you can. I usually keep the water temperature, the voltage, and the time up there. That's all I have. I hide the depth because you can use this over here as your depth. Okay. So that's pretty much it for that. Like I said, I haven't used my livescope since last year. So basically that's pretty much it, guys. You know, that's my settings that I have, and they work great. I know some people say, well, I can't see nothing. That is more than likely, that's going to be who set up your live scope. There's some guys, I didn't set mine up. I got a guy to do mine, but I don't know what gauge wire he used, but I will show y'all the battery that I use. I got it on, I believe it was Amped Outdoors. That's usually where I usually get all my batteries and stuff anyway. The mess. This is my setup right here. This is my battery. Then you have your what's called the black box. It's right. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's right there. And basically it just runs and hooks into the live scope, which is right there. So this is the battery I use. I recommend 100% on getting a tray like this. And they just bolt in the side of your rod locker here. They just bolt, screw in, whatever. This is Amped Outdoors, 30 amp hour. That's really all you guys need. More than that, I wouldn't really mess with. I mean, you can get whatever you want, but I found that 30 amp hour on a tournament, 8 hours constantly on, works just fine. The reason why that's important is because I've heard some guys say when it gets down below about 12 or 13 volts, and like I mentioned up in the top left corner, that's where you'll see your volts, it doesn't perform well. So that's something that definitely I would not splurge on, or excuse me, wouldn't gimp out on. I would 100% buy the best battery you can. And that battery right there was $100. I have no complaints on it whatsoever. So, but that's pretty much for this video. I kind of sped through it just a little bit. That's really everything that I use from, I just kind of played with it. Really, most likely, the only thing that you guys are going to need to change is that gain. On the main menu, you can literally do it from the live scope itself, so you can actually see how it looks. But that's really it. And you do not need a live scope to go fishing or be successful. Okay. The only way that I see that somebody wants a live scope is, or somebody that needs a live scope is the people that want one. That's the only, because I've caught fish. I mean, most of the time, the fish that I do catch is not off a live scope. Now I will catch some like jerk bait, or Berkeley come out with a new credge. I'll throw it, or a swim bait or something like that, and I see some fish, I'll throw to them, and more than likely I'll catch them. But it's not 100%. So if you think that this thing catches fish, that's negatory, my friend. It's just a tool in your tool belt. That's all it is. So if you guys like this video, like, subscribe. If y'all want to see another video like this or anything, just let me know and I'll try to post it. Thank y'all for watching.